What's going on, guys? James here again. Board map number 5 of Dice Rally. And in this one, we got so much duels to cover, two of which are White Forest Allure Queen due to cutting the points in half stipulation of a matchup. So most cases, during that matchup, vampires are tagged out so that White Forest Allure Queen will be tagging in just so that there's no such thing as spilling blood or from vampire effects. But otherwise, as normal, vampire zombies is the usual go-to as the number one choice for the event. Obvious reasons, spooky season. With that being said, for the decks to showcase, Salamangreat, Heraldic Beasts, a Dragon Synchro of sorts, Prime-Eye Blue Eyes, a mystery deck of sorts due to the half life point stipulation, Kaiju Toy, and another Dragon Synchro. With that being said, let us start the show. Starting off at the beginning space, Mystic Tomato, one of the classic Go cards of all classic Go cards. If anyone remembers the history of Mystic Tomato, it's basically used to fetch out more darks that are 1500 or less attack. For which, by the way, the only time Mystic Tomato does that is when this card gets killed by battle and sent to the graveyard. It specials one in a tap position, one dark monster with 1500 or less attack as a level 4 dark plant, 1400 attack, 1100 defense. And with this hand, this is beyond fine, I suppose, but we'll see. Salamangreat to start so fire, getting Gazelle, Balinks the Cat. I opted not to ash the Balinks the Cat because there are other cards in terms of proper use for ashing. Gazelle, toss out the Spinny, for which, by the way, Royal Spinny. Highly impressed. Royal Spinny free special. Xyz Shogun into Mirage Stelio. This was one of the cards I opted to ash. Simplify game state. At the start of my turn, before we go any further, glossed out Pyro Phoenix, awesome. And then for whatever the reason may be about Sprite Sprint, when this card was first printed, why on earth is it even a fire of all attribute choices for the sprites? Like, I totally get it about sprites being dark or fire based off on the two attribute choices though, but I honestly did not see that coming in terms of Sprint being a fire attribute. Like, wow. And then, by any chance about Meow Mine, which it is in a graveyard, if a link 2 and no other kinds of link numbers, but link 2 only, monster you control is sent to the graveyard or banished outside of the damage step. You can banish this from graveyard or hand, target one card your opponent controls, kick it back, and then Code of Soul. Let's see, during your opponent's main phase as a quick effect, you can banish this, put up a link summon of a Cyberse link that is link 3 or higher. Interesting take on this. Oh, and of course, Princessa. Shouldn't need to say much. Zombie World, Real Normal Gozuki, Ash the Gozuki, Gozuki over Mystic Tomato, and pass. Real Normal Terror Top, getting target on board, and simplified game state. Gozuki, banish the Ash for Void. Princess, Void, negate the activation. Now it's simplified. Feather Duster, set hit, and perm. Real Normal Ghost, send Familiar, getting Fraulein, toss out Retainer, send Ghost, Reborn, spill blood, Princessa, kill off the 2, Reborn herself, Retainer for Desire, Raging Phoenix, target Sprint, Reborn, gain that much, Familiar, send Desire, spill blood for Scarlet Scourge, Ghost, spill blood, Chibi Summon, Scourge, Reborn, Void, Fraulein, no spilling blood because we're a tad bit low, Scarlet Scourge, Reborn, targets on board, Flying Mary, Reborn, Void while Flying Mary is in the back row, outing the Spinny, Exige choking into Zombie Vampire, no restrictions, which means Unizombie, Ghost, Shadow, Ash, Droll, Fuelos, and Salamangreat Jaguar. And out of all the cards to take in terms of no restrictions, first off, we lost the domain being milled, stinks. Second of all, Unizombie is the way to go, so that way we want to keep on comboing Zombies Edition. Simplified state. Red Eye Zombie Dragon Lord's Secret Effect. If this card is in your graveyard, you can banish one zombie monster you control, Specialist. Princessa, Zombie Dragon Lord's other secret effect. During your opponent's turn, as a quick effect, you can target one zombie monster in your graveyard that isn't the card itself Specialist. This is literally Vera Vernisylph Goddess, but zombies. Reborn Fraulein, Reborn Raging Phoenix, circle, make sure it can't be touched by monster effects, Fraulein, defend, and pass. Top Deck's Retainer, uh-oh, Code of Soul, Raging Phoenix, search for Roar, Flying Mary, target the Zombie Dragon Lord, killing off the Pyro Phoenix, Raging Phoenix, super giga buffed at 5600, Void Vote Tribute to Princessa, Void Vote negate, Zombie Vampire, no restrictions. So most cases on the mills, Necro Banshee, Vampire Sorcerer, Vampire Ghost, Salamangreat Jet Jaguar, Droll, and Gazelle. And out of all the choices to take, that will be Vampire Ghost for the sake of Retainer Engrave, which we will use. Retainer, Spill Blood. There's the Droll. Necro World Banshee, get Zombie World for whatever the reason. None of them are missed. Zombie Vampire over Raging Phoenix. And one set. Zombie Dragon Lord, Reborn, Fraulein, Princess, effect. Now, originally, I was planning to use Domination to make sure that Princess stays in the graveyard, but the problem is, if I use Domination right away, Raging Phoenix is going to attack the Retainer and the game will be over. So to circumvent that, I will actually let the Raging Phoenix go, just so that the Raging Phoenix and Zombie Dragon Lord are killed for the sake of Princess. Raging Phoenix, Void Vote to save my Domination's negate, just in case. Set, Princess. Now I use Domination, and I'm back in the game. Real normal, Lady Debug, getting Salamangreat Spinny. Fraulein, save Retainer, and pass. And that is game versus Salamangreats. What a match. What a unbelievable match. And to be fair, if I didn't use Domination super early on, none of that would have happened and I immediately would have lost because Raging Phoenix would end up attacking Retainer and the game is over. But glad I decided to let that affect the Princess go and just save my Domination for good use. Both of us happen to land on card spaces. For my normal space would be Mine Hacksaws, and I believe this is the second copy of Mine Hacksaws in terms of throughout the Dice Rally progressions. Already gave a card review on Mine Hacksaws from the previous video, so be sure to check that out. And then you're finished. I too also happen to gave out the card effect from the previous video. In case if I didn't, then here's the context on You're Finished. Continuous trap. If 10 or more cards and or effects trigger throughout the whole entire turn, generate this as a trap monster. Dark Cyber's level 10, 3000 stats. Once per turn, when your opponent activates a card or effect while this card is in the monster zone as a quick effect, you basically kill everything your opponent controls as possible, then reset button. Augmented Heraldry, Sakitama, 2 real normal of Sakitamas, number 18, and set 2. Domain, Resurgamic Z, number 18 at 3000. Ghost, send Retainer, grab Scourge, toss off Familiar. Retainer, send Sorcerer, Reborn, Spill Blood, getting Desired, that's for going second. Familiar, send Ghost. Reborn, Spill Blood for Fraulein. Desire, toss out Grace, make Retainer 6. Sorcerer, banish. And apparently it's been way more than at least 10 minimum to trigger literally anything and everything. At this point, if I dare do something, this is where Your Finish comes in, blowing up literally everything. Ghost, banish, spill blood, to tribute Scourge, pop up, Scourge, Reborn Grace, for our line. To tell you the truth, opponent legit had an opportunity to, at the very least, stop the Scourge or Fraulein even from coming out. So that way, it's either result leads to having Fraulein on the field in defense and nothing else. And even if everything gets stopped except that Fraulein being left on the field off from the trap, that just basically means I never use my real normal being unit zombie just in case everything else goes wrong. And then Heraldic Beast scoops. Both players landing on UR space. Desperado Barrel Dragon for my side, and Psychic Rover from the opponent's side. And would you look at that? The reminiscence of coins versus dice matchups. Most cases, it's the coin side, and then the Psychic Rover is the dice side. So team coins versus team dice throughout this specific matchup. Real normal Junk Synchron, and that is a free Synchron deck to pull off with. Especially the fact that Psychic Rover is a level 2, that's full combo with the help of the real normal Junk Synchron. Simplified game state. For Team Dice, being the Synchron, the 3 Dragon Synchros, Monster Negate out of Crystal Wing, Crystal Clear Wing in terms of Omni Negate, and for whatever the reason, if it happens to kill a monster in terms of negating something, this card gains that much attack equal to the monster's original attack. And then Shooting Star Dragon TGX, when a monster effect is activated that targets a monster's more than one you control, banish a tuner from your grave, negate the activation as it never happened, and if you do, kill it. And on top of that, not once per turn, by the way, Smile, and then each of the following effects once per turn. When an opponent's monster declares an attack, negate the attack. During your opponent's turn, if this card is in your graveyard as a quick effect, you can tribute 2 Synchro Monsters, special this guy. That's crazy how TGEX's monster effect that deals with targeted monster, not once per turn, negate. Crazy. As for Team Coin, there should be no problem. Zombie World, Crystal Clear Wing, negate. And I honestly cannot believe I'm actually doing this, but talents take Crystal Wing. And the funny thing is, unless if I miss out from the previous board maps from the past rounds, talent did not come up one time until this round of round 5 dropped the board maps. But talent take Crystal Wing just in case if folks were to use the monster effect in terms of negate the activation, assuming that if my opponent doesn't have any more hand traps of monsters, then everything should be fine for Crystal Wing. Real Normal Ghost, Sand Familiar, grab Scourge, toss out Retainer. Oh, by the way, if you guys notice about the vampires by now, outside of Familiar and Retainer, Ghost and Skylet Scourge, one of those vampires, they just got the glow up. Retainer, send Ghost. Reborn, Spill Blood. For Desire, going second. Desire, toss out Void Vode, making Retainer a level 8 because I honestly didn't realize that Desperado is a level 8, so I figured Desire, toss out Void Vode for the sake of Zombie Vampire. No restrictions. And out of all of the hits, Ash, Grace, Starter Synchron, Effect Veiler, and Junk Mail. Never saw this card. Level 1, Earth Warrior Tuner, 100 defense, 400 attack. A Synchro monster that uses this card as material cannot be killed by battle. Interesting. If this card is in your graveyard, except the turn it was sent there, Breakthrough Skill Clause, and you control a Synchro monster with Warrior, Synchron, or Stardust in its original name, you can free special this but banish it whenever it leaves. So most cases, take Ash Blossom in terms of Zombie Vampire because she's a zombie. Let's not dwell on it too much. Ghost. Tribute to Ash for Scourge. Scourge. There's Nibiru. Crystal Wing. Negate the Nibiru. Xyz Shoken into Sheridan. Familiar. Send Fraulein. Reborn. Spill Blood for Ghost. And then that Scoop Phase for Synchrons. For my opponent's space, SR space of Noble Knight Boars. Level 4, Light Warrior, 1700 attack, 900 defense. It's a normal monster while face up, and then once hooked up with a Noble Arms equip spell, it gains the supernatural effects. It becomes dark, and its level is increased by 1, and the hard once per turn effect is, during your main phase, reveal 3 Noble Arms cards from your deck, have your opponent randomly pick one, and send the rest to the graveyard. Noble Knights, I imagine? Oh no, Prime Eye Blue Eyes, that's right. So most cases, Stone of Ancients, real normal, Spirit with Eyes of Blue, Attempt, Fire the Empire, Simplified Game State. Real normal Ghost, send Familiar. Realistically, you legit could hold on to the Purge in hand, funny enough, because you're not restricted. Negate the Ghost off from Purge. Familiar, send Ghost. Spill Blood for Scourge. Banish. Tribute the Ghost for Scourge. Reborn the Ghost. Fascinator. Take the Stone of Ancients. Tribute, take Blue Eyes. Exceed Shoken into Zombie Vampire. Due to the restriction of Fascinator, zombies only. Sorcerer. Shiranui Solitaire. Lost our domain. Lost our one of the 2 zombie worlds. And out of all the zombies to take, Shiranui Solitaire to keep on extending zombie lines wise. Solitaire for Unizombie. Unizombie, Foolish, Retainer for whatever the reason, Retainer was not seen yet. Retainer, send Fraulein, Reborn, Spill Blood, get Desire, Synchro into Immortal Dragon. Immortal Dragon, Foolish Mizuki, Desire, fix the level for Shadow Vampire, for which, by the way, Shadow Vampire just got the glow up treatment. Mizuki, Reborn Fraulein, Shiranui Sun Saga, what's the blank set? True Light, Fraulein, Spill Blood, only 1500, just so that the opponent can only take 2800. Also, if you guys are wondering, in before people questioning where is Nib or whatever, can't do that. Spirit with Eyes of Blue exists. Context is you cannot special summon except dragons, which basically means you cannot nib me now, and it's basically uninterrupted. Fraulein, spilling 3000 blood for Sun Saga, dishing out all of the remainder damage for game. But the true question is, there is none on Nibiru, sadly. In this stipulation of a matchup, have the opponent legit would have accepted the match? With his hand, this is basically Chaos Angel Turbo, because without the dance, without the palace, this will lead to Chaos Angel with both attributes. Most cases can't be touched by monster effects, and monsters you control cannot be killed by battle. And on top of that, Blizzard for the spell negate, Chalice for a negate, and Ash Blossom is just Ash Blossom. So basically, it's more of a free pass. So let's see what deck that I could have faced. Photon Galaxies. The Tachyon version to be specific. Royal Rare Tachyon Cloud Dragon, by the way. Awesome. You are Card Space. Another copy of the Immortal Bushi mourns the mortal body. All monsters in your graveyard become warriors, for which, by the way, no, we definitely do not want that. Because it basically turns off Mizuki in terms of graveyard effects, because if we play this face up, they all become warriors in graveyard. And then, once per turn, during the end phase, you can kill all monsters you control. Realistically, we definitely do not want that. Unizombie, instant discard of the spell. Toss off Familiar. Send Retainer. Reborn, spill blood for Fraulein. Familiar. Send Ghost. Reborn, spill blood for Domination. Synchro into Immortal Dragon, Foolish Necrowar Banshee, Ghost Banish, Spill Blood for Shadow Vampire, Vampire Void Bode at an instant speed, Red Eye Zombie Necro Dragon, Zombie World, and one set. Foolish Goods. Toss out Rainbow Bridge. Are you even serious right now, dude? Tribute the Void Void for the sake of Gamma Seal. Rainbow Bridge. What's the field spell? Sapphire Pegasus. Kyoto Waterfront. Toy Soldiers for Toy Box. Toy Box. Quite the weird concoction this is, so let's see what's up with its weird concoction skills. The 2 Dark Magician, 3 Turbo Booster, 2 Jester Confit, 3 Magician Souls, Kurikara Divincarnate Spiced, Snake Eye Ash, Snake Eye Poplar, because it's at 1 for the event, 3 Toy Soldier, 2 Sapphire Pegasus, Toy Tank, 3 Radiant Kaiju, Gamma Seal, Snake Eyes Flame Verge, Snake Eyes Diabell Star, 3 Thunder King Kaiju, Jizukiru Kaiju, 2 Rainbow Bridge of Salvation, just the only traps, spell lineup, Raigeki, Feather Duster, Monster Reborn, Heavy Storm, Leeching the Light. The idea is you basically give your opponent the Light Kaiju, and once you have so much monsters on the field, play this. Every single monster you control that are in attack position gains that much, causing the OTK. Filthy animals. 3 Interrupted Kaiju Slumber, Foolish Goods, Sinful Spoils of Subversion, OSS, 3 Kyoto Waterfront, 3 Toy Box, 2 Forbidden Droplet. extra that consists of Chaos Angel. If you're wondering about Chaos Angel in this extra, you got Radiant as a 7, and then you got the 2 Confit and the 3 Magician Souls in any combinations of 1s just to make Chaos Angel, all darks by the way. And it makes it so that monsters you control cannot be killed by battle. 2 Relinquished Anima, 2 Nightmare Phoenix, IP, Lina Dark Charmers, Selene, Promethean Princess. If you're wondering about what fires to get out of this, that will be your Snake Eyes package. And then Avramax, Raging Phoenix, World Sea Dragon Zealantis, Amphibious Warmship Ambler Whale, Access Code. Stipulation activated. Both players will start their life points cut in half, which means vampires will be tagging out and let Allure Queen White Forest getting tagged into this battle. And with this hand, this is basically 2 cards to start being OGLZ and one of the White Forest traps. And it makes it so that you are about to perform some ballistic good stuff. OGLZ, send apes. Special, get Sylvie. Reset button to apes. Real normal Sylvie. Because apparently we both hard open the traps. We hard open both of the traps. And then synchro into Ursula, sending woes, getting Chaos Queen. Not LZ Azamina, that can be fetched off from woes. Allure Queen lines. Chaos Angel. And pass. Whoa. Dark Ruler no more. So in most cases, no further damages to me. Reborn, the OGLZ, real normal Junk Synchron, Azamina Apes. And sadly, even through Dark Ruler, we still got backup plans for that matter. So guys, that's gonna do it for board map number 5. Most of the time, vampire zombies going to work overall, but in the half the life points matchups, White Forest Allure Queen has done a fantastic job at that. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and hit that notification bell to keep yourself constantly updated, and we'll catch you guys next time throughout Dice Rally.